Hello and welcome everyone back to another edition of the Daily 8 on the News 8 Live Desk. Phil Panarski here with the top 8 stories of the day, including a look at your forecast. We'll get to that in just a little bit. Spoiler alert, it is cold and snowy out there, and that is actually how we're going to begin most of today's show, dealing and talking about the weather. First story, of course, is we saw several accidents and pileups yesterday and into this morning all across West Michigan, and state police have announced that one person has been killed in a crash. It happened on US 131 just before 9:30 last night. News 8 Skycams actually captured the aftermath of the accident, which included a jackknife semi-truck, if you can make it out there. The crash remains under investigation, but MSP did release new information earlier today saying that they believe that the driver who died had suffered a medical issue and struck both the outside and median walls. They were pronounced dead at the scene. Further investigation is still going at this time. Authorities are now advising drivers to make their commutes and take them slower than usual over these next few days as slow and slick conditions persist. And the cold temperatures and blowing snow didn't stop a group of protesters from taking to the streets in Grand Rapids yesterday. At least 100 protesters marched through the downtown area to call for no deportations during the Trump administration. President Donald Trump was sworn in as the 47th president yesterday. He has made numerous promises to carry out what he calls the largest mass deportation operation in U.S. history. The protesters sent a message to city leaders asking for Grand Rapids to be declared a sanctuary city and to not cooperate with these proposed deportations. And if you're in need of staying warm over these next couple of days, really there are plenty of warming centers open in West Michigan, and we've made it easy for you to find one closest to you. We've organized these warming centers county by county over on our website. This could be crucial information for some, as we are not expecting a big warm up in the weather until the end of this week or the beginning of next week. Again, those wind chills are going to get well below zero tonight as well as into the early morning hours. The full list of warming centers can be found right now on woodtv.com. Some of these centers are even offering guests food, water, and other warming items to stay safe this week. And every single school district in West Michigan has called for a snow day today. Classes and after-school activities were all canceled due to the weather, as we're expecting, as I said, a continuation of yesterday's frigid temperatures and wind chills, and also the fact that we have seen quite a bit of snow, especially as you move out towards the lakeshore. Some districts were also closed on Monday to observe the MLK Day holiday and decided to extend the break to avoid any dangers for students and faculty trying to commute back to school. It's not clear yet if schools will also be closed tomorrow. No announcements have been made at this time. And cold weather is obviously the top story for us here in West Michigan. And to help keep you safe, News 8 spoke with a local doctor to provide you all with some helpful safety tips. Some of these tips might seem a bit obvious, like not staying outside too long and making sure you're bundled up with extra layers on. But it is also important to remember these tips, as well as some tips about staying hydrated and well fed, as your body is going to be expending a lot more energy to keep you warm over these next couple of days. These tips and more can be found over on woodtv.com. We even spoke to consumers about some energy saving tips as well. And we're going to step aside now and actually get a look at your forecast with Storm Team 8. Here is meteorologist Matt Kirkwood.
And welcome back. More snow, more cold heading our way. I'd say about another 1 to 4 inches of snow here around Grand Rapids, down to Kalamazoo and also the Muskegon area. And you can see those snow showers continue coming off of Lake Michigan. Because of that, really no change in the advisories, with the exception of one, and that's Berrien and Cass County, which has been extended until 4 o'clock this afternoon. Inland counties otherwise 7 p.m. This evening, 1 a.m. Wednesday or tonight for those lakeshore counties. And the cold continues as well. We're looking at wind chill temperatures most of today around 10 to 20 below zero, and then later tonight and tomorrow morning you could have some, especially from Grand Rapids to the southeast, up around 25 below zero. So this will rival actual cold temperatures for a high this time of year. Record coldest high temperature for today's date is 5 above. We gradually climb out of the cold on Wednesday. It's still bitterly cold, especially during the morning hours, and we'll see additional lake effect snow showers mainly setting up northwest of Grand Rapids tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Matt. And some non-weather related news now. Less than 2 days after the Detroit Lions season ended at the hands of the Washington Commanders in the playoffs, the team is now looking for a brand new offensive coordinator. Yes, Ben Johnson has agreed to become the next head coach of the Chicago Bears. That is according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. Johnson was a heavily sought-after head coaching candidate after leading the Lions offense to some pretty incredible numbers over the past couple of seasons. Johnson will now face off against his former team twice a year during the regular season. His contract is expected to be worth about $13 million per year. And we are also seeing some rumored reports about Aaron Glenn, the defensive coordinator for the Lions, possibly being linked to the New York Jets head coaching vacancy. We will be keeping a close eye on all of those developments. And we end today's show with one more weather story, but it's not a doom and gloom one. Actually, it's a way to have fun in the cold snow. Teresa Weekly and Scott Larson showed us a handful of fun experiments you and the whole family can do outside, from making snow volcanoes and frozen bubbles to making some instant snow. Not that we need much more of that here in West Michigan. You can actually find step-by-step instructions and even some on-air demonstrations from Teresa and Scott right now on woodtv.com. They sure do look like a lot of fun there. All right, that is going to do it for us today on the Daily 8. We will, of course, be back again tomorrow, hopefully with some nicer weather and 8 more stories that you need to know for your Wednesday. I do want to thank everyone so much for tuning into this latest edition of the News 8 Live Desk. I'm Phil Penarski, and we hope you have a safe and warm rest of your day.